Hey all, Hipper here. It's been a while on the channel, but today I am actually doing an Agile Cruiser video here in World of Warships Legends. So if you still follow that game, then well, this will be for you. And Edinburgh is probably, well, not probably, but it is my favorite Agile Cruiser. It's just so good. And as you can see, I'm running a full Agile build in this battle here, with radar and sonar and full rudder. No offensive perks at all, and yeah, it works really well, and anyone telling you otherwise simply doesn't know what they're talking about. So an Agile Edinburgh is really good at pushing, and as you'll see in this battle here, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get into the cap and simply, maintain our superiority in there. You can see how this Mogami is turning already, and that's really all there is to it. But of course, if your spawn mates don't push with you, you can have horrible games. And if they push with you, like they do in this case here, you can see the battleship is contemplating moving in, but the other cruiser is with me, and luckily there's lots of cover here in this cap here, and this is why it's so important to push in, because there's plenty of cover in this cap here. So there's really no way, and there's no reason to sit back, because what's the point? You're just going to lose the cap. So you can see how the Mogami is actually trying to cap here, but the other cruiser and the Amaji, they aren't really making, well, they're not doing a lot really here, and they're pretty much just giving away this flank here. I mean, there's 3 ships here, but as soon as I get up in front of this island here, which is the whole purpose of my pushing, they're going to be caught. They're going to be unable to do anything constructive in the battle, because as you can see, I have battleship backup, and there's a destroyer coming as well. And I believe the Plymouth is starting to panic now, because as soon as I get up into this spot here, there's no hiding for these guys here, even behind the islands, because I can just sonar them if they're not within 2 kilometers already. And they pretty much just giving away this flank here. And this is what you want to capitalize on in an Agile Cruiser. So all this BS about Agile Cruisers sitting back and kiting and doing whatever, that's not what Agile Cruisers do. Exactly this here is what Agile Cruisers do. They apply pressure to the enemies, so the enemies actually start making mistakes. Like this Mogami here, because he realizes that, well, now we are just 3 of us sitting here behind an island, and the cap has been taken, and I can just remove him here with help of the battleship. Now there is an Amaji as well, but I'm keeping him, behind the island here, so he can't shoot at me. And because I have such great acceleration in Edinburgh, I really love that. Dodging these torpedoes here is quite easy, especially with the fast rudder as well. Now I am lucky no one in the middle of the map is actually paying attention to me here, because obviously they could be shooting at me. So that's why I'm trying to get into a better position now. So this kind of gameplay here is far more interesting and a lot more fun than the typical cruiser gameplay videos you see online, which is more like, getting into a sweet spot, not behind an island, but very close to an island, where you can shoot at enemies, but they can't return fire. And, it's kind of boring. And I play destroyers and battleships the traditional way, but cruisers, I play the Agile way. So now the Amaji is alone, and I have a 30mm bow, so I'm just going to take him on, because what can he do? Well, absolutely nothing. And he just wasted this whole battle here, because he didn't make any moves, and by the time he realizes that, hey, maybe I should have actually played a little bit more aggressively, it's way too late, because I'm on a torp run here, and I am not going to get sunk. So the Agile Cruiser recipe here, it just gives you a lot more interesting battles, a lot more action-packed battles as well. And if I dare say so, I think you're going to have a lot more fun if you pop these builds here on your cruisers. And the way I play it, I win about 65% of my battles, and that's good enough for me. Sure, if you really want to, get those like super unicorn win rates, you probably have to play a little bit more conservatively. But that also means that you're going to play, let's say, 100 battles in a really boring conservative manner, just to win, let's say, 5 or 6 more battles out of those 100 battles. So I'd rather play 100 battles and have fun in those 100 battles, and then maybe lose 5 or 6 battles more than I probably should have. So that's my logic, and that's the way the game is fun for me. Now, I'm getting a little pissy, or I have been a little pissy with Wargaming for kind of neglecting this way of playing. I don't think that they are putting the effort into making Agile cruisers a part of the game. And I don't know why, because for me it makes total sense. Battleships are all about armor, destroyers are all about concealment, and cruisers should be, in my opinion, all about agility. And well, that doesn't seem to be Wargaming's plan, and that's one of the reasons that I've kissed this game here goodbye, because I just don't think that's what I want out of this game here. So as you can see, we are smacking this Chambar here, and he's in a pretty tight spot because we've totally overrun the A flank here, and we're going to go for the B flank, or B flank, the middle flank here. That's not a flank, the middle of the map now, and just get this Chambar on the run. And when that's done, that really means that we've won this battle here, because we then own A cap, and in a minute we're going to win the B cap, and then we don't really have to push anymore, because yeah, sure, we could go for the C cap, but there's still 5 enemies, and there's really no reason to do it. So instead, I'm going to hunt down destroyers. Now, at the A cap, there wasn't a single destroyer, which was kind of sad, because I'm equipped with radar and everything, and I didn't really get to use it. But now there's a set 23, and there's a Friesland out here. So we're going to go for the B cap and defend that, and try to keep these guys here from doing anything naughty. So the set 31 is smoking up, so he's probably going to get sunk anyway. So I'm going to focus on the Friesland instead. And he was spotted before, so I got a pretty good idea about where he is. But on the way, we're just going to help the guys here grab the B cap. And you see, I still have 2 radars left. And no spot on this map here is safe if you are a destroyer now. And of course, the Schröder is 15 kilometers away. Yeah, I don't know why you would play that ship like that, but some people do. And as you can see, the Z-23, he is on his last few breaths, because I don't know what he's doing either. And that's the thing with this game here. Sometimes you get a good team. I have a pretty decent team, actually quite a good team, I'd say, for this battle here, especially the destroyers. And the red team is not a horrible red team, but it's also not the best, right? So I'm just going to take some shots at these guys here to try to get them to fire on me instead of someone else. That's also why I'm showing broadside, just to lure them into shooting at me, because I have 2 guys aiming at me now. So I'm assuming that's the 2 guys here that I can see. But they've got other priorities suddenly, and as soon as this Seaton gets around that mountain, he's going to get blown out of the water by those 2 battleships. So there's no point going that way, right? And I see this mistake all the time by players, like, don't lump your ships into one spot. Like, there's no point in me going over there. What could I possibly do there? It's better that I go this way around this island here. And one, to spot in case the Seaton falls off spot. And secondly, just to keep an eye out on what's actually going on here, because the Friesland is still in play. He is going to have a pretty hard time against 7 ships, but still, he is out there somewhere, and although he doesn't have torpedoes, he's still something to just to care about. So I'm just waiting for the perfect opportunity to pop a radar and smack this Friesland here out of the game. Now, preferably he needs to be broadside, right? So that's what I'm waiting for. Now, obviously, I could pop the radar now. I'd probably spot him, but he could be bow on or stern on or something like that, and I wouldn't be able to sink him, and then I have to wait 2 minutes for the next radar. So we're going to try to, catch him broadside. And he just popped up for a second over there. So I'm thinking that he's probably going to go around, the way where there's less enemies. I mean, that makes sense. So I'm going to try to get into the spot here so I go unspotted. And then I'm hopefully going to be able to surprise the destroyer coming around this corner here. So when I come around the corner, if I'm then spotted, then obviously I know the destroyer is there, and he's actually already there. So it doesn't get very difficult. And he's not broadside, but that's good enough. That'll do. And I actually, pretty much get to save my radar here as well. So pretty amazing. So that's the end of the Friesland. 122,000 damage and 3,000 XP. So that was an Agile Edinburgh. Like probably the most fun you can have in this game here. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you out there.